Hello everyone, and welcome to a new project and the first episode of this new project. First of all, sorry it's been so long since I've done an update. I know I put a lot of online gaming stuff, but I like online gaming and I want to share that with my gaming friends, and I also like doing scale models, so I share that with my scale model friends. So that's why there's sort of both going on there. But for the last couple of weeks, I have been doing a project. As you can see, it's the bird of prey, and that's really what I want to talk about now before this goes too far, and obviously show you guys what I've been up to, you know. So this isn't in any particular order. It's just as it comes to me. I'm a bit out of practice with doing this, so forgive me if if I'm all over the place. But anyway, the first thing is. I'm not going to do an unboxing video, by the way, just in case you thought I was. I've watched loads and loads of videos of the bird of prey by different manufacturers, but by far the AMT one is vastly superior. Although I have had a lot of problems with the plastic, but then again I think that's the age of the model, because this particular kit is from 2012, so it's really old. So I think the plastic's starting to, break down a little bit, but it's not a problem because with the glues and the paints I use, it all reharden it. But anyway, so I think the first thing to talk about is what style I'm going to have. And you've got three choices with this kit here. You've got the cruise mode, you've got the attack mode, and then you've got the landing mode. Well, I was thinking about doing the landing mode and doing a whole diorama, and then painting on the side of it, HMS Bounty. And if you're a Star Trek fan, you'll know exactly what I'm on about. But I thought, no, I want to do my own thing. And I think the attack pose has been overdone a lot. So I thought I would go for the cruise mode. Plus, as well, that's also gonna show my paint job and the lighting and everything else that I'm going to be talking about. So that out of the way, the first thing I want to talk about is obviously the body. I've done a lot of drilling on the body. I see if you can see the holes there. I've drilled out those, and on the other side I've drilled out that one as well. I also drilled out these ones here. These ones here. These ones here. So let me just get a pointer a minute. There we go. A brush. So these ones here and here. I know there's supposed to be a bit in the middle, but I had a bit of an accident, but that's fine, because this is my kit and I'm going to do it a bit different. Yes, which reminds me that the paint job. I haven't talked about that, because before I get into the rest of it, I really need to talk about the paint job, don't I? The paint job, as you can see, it's absolutely massive. There's loads of painting to do on it, and there's the decals as well, which are there. Not much of a decal really, but they are what they are. I'm not going to do all of this painting. The one thing I will say about this kit is it's very over detailed. There's a lot of stuff I won't be doing, like the engine for a start. There's about, I don't know, half a dozen colours on that. I'm not going to paint all those. I'll probably paint it red and then detail it, and that'll be enough. On the underside, the wings, or the feathers if you want to call them, are painted red, but I'm also going to do it on the top side as well. All these colourings here, I'm going to ignore those, and I'll explain that in a minute. Like the baffles here, I'll be painting those, and some of the details and all sorts, I'll be painting those as well. And the whole ship will be painted in a metallic green, and then I'm going to be doing my Aztecing on that. The reason for that, and if you're a Star Trek fan, you know that in the Klingon Empire things work very differently to the Federation Empire or the Romulan Empire and even the Ferengi Empire and all that. And how they work their ships, the shipyards build ships. Nobody really commissions them, they just build them. And then if there's no buyers, they just sort of like shelf them really. But a lot of the ships are sold off in auctions, and each family will bid on a ship or a group of ships or a squadron. And if they're successful, then they tell the shipyard, how they want it painted. So, with this one, they may want, the whole ship painted one colour or another colour, or details or their insignias or something. And you don't really see that in the films. I understand why. When I was researching this, I have watched a lot of videos. It always boils down to money with the studio. So the bird of prey you see in all of the films and all of the series, it's the same bird of prey over and over and over again, because once it was commissioned, they basically just kept on using it until it fell apart, which it eventually did, which is why in a lot of TNG episodes the wings are permanently fixed in cruise mode, which is that mode, and it would be attacking in that mode, which is wrong because it should be attacking in that mode. But the mechanics that brought the wings up and down like that, had just broken down. They'd been used so much, and the studio was unreluctant to have it repaired. And eventually, it just fell apart, and I'm not too sure what happened to it after that. But the point is, in the real world, once a Klingon house won a bid on a group of ships, they would then tell the shipyard, well, we want it painted this way, we want these guns, we want these weapons, these quarters, we want these insignias, so on and so forth. And that's what I'm basically going to do. I'm going to paint the ship how I want it, because that's what would happen in the Klingon Empire. And that's also how each house tells themselves apart from the other one, as we're in the Federation. It's all uniformity. But in the Klingon Empire, all the ships, although they're the same design and same shape, they're all painted and decorated differently, so each house can tell each other apart. Anyway, moving on, because like I said, I am going to light this, and one of the lighting things I'm going to do is these here, which I'm going to call the shoulders. I'm not entirely sure what they're called, so I'm just going to call them the shoulders. Now, on the studio model, these, if you can see them there, there's holes there. I'll bring it up. See if the camera can catch it. But there, and there. Oh, you can see them now. Those were actually drilled out, and those were lit. So that's what I'm going to do. And it was a hell of a thing to do, but I'm going to light them. What I've also done is on both of the shoulders, I put like styrene across there to basically light block them, because these were completely open to the elements. Because I suppose AMT thought, well, nobody's ever going to light those, are they? But then they never come across my channel. So that's basically how it will look. So the light will go in there. I've already drilled a hole for it. And the light will go in there, and then the shoulder goes on top, and then it's going to light the whole thing up, and all the light is going to come through those, just like the studio model. The light will also come through these, and like I've already said, those are a bit wrong, but I'm fine with it, and it's my model kit, and I'm going to paint it a bit different anyway. So going back, like I said, going back to the actual painting, I'm going to be painting the underside of the feathers red. I'm also going to be painting the feathers on the top side red, and most of the detail on here I'm not going to bother. I'm going to paint the whole ship in a beautiful green metallic that I have, and then Aztec it, here and there and in certain places. So it will look similar to this, but not identical, and like I said before, and I keep saying it, it's my model kit, and I'll paint it how I want, really. So if you don't like that, well, paint it how you want to paint it. But anyway, moving on. So that's what I'm going to do. There's red lights that come out of here as well. What I decided to do is just basically put the light in like that. Yeah, you can see it now. And just put the light in like that, and then just fill that up with a PVA glue, and that'll be good enough. And then I can put some other glue on top of it, and that'll mask it off. And then I'll call that good. Some interesting details about this. You may be wondering what the hole is there. If I get the wings, one of the wings, here's one of the wings here, which is something else. You'll probably notice all the filler I have on there. Yeah, there's terrible gaps and terrible seeing things and all sorts. So you know, those have got to be sorted out. But anyway, if I just roughly put this together, which way is it? Oh, there it is. There we go. So if I just roughly put this together, wrong way round, because it's the wrong side, isn't it? Or is it the wrong bit? I think I have the wrong bit. Excuse me a minute. I just dig out the right bit, which I think is this one. Is it this one? Yes, it is. Now that fits. Now it fits better. Sorry about that. So what that is actually a light, and that light shines on here. Now actually on the wing, just take it apart again. Actually on the wing, you have a light that comes from this hole, and it shines on this whole area here. Yeah, sorry about my camera work. I'm a bit out of practice. So you have a light that comes from here and then shines on this whole area. You also have two lights here. I'll be running some fibre optic through there, and I'll be coming out there, and you'll see that, guys. But there's a light that goes there and it shines out here, so that's why that's there. It's very interesting, that is. You know, I never knew that until I watched literally hundreds of hours of all these films in the studio model as well. It's massive. It's absolutely massive. The studio model is about the size of a small car. Something else that's really interesting is, unlike other nations like the Federation, the Romulans and the Klingons, the Klingons, unlike the Federation and the Romulans and the Ferengi and the Bajorans, who have, you know, red for left, or is it green, and then green for right, or is it right? I always get those two mixed up. But anyway, the Klingons don't do that. What they do is they have 3 white lights, one just above the bridge, one in between the shoulders, and one on the back, and that signifies the top of the ship. And then on the bottom of the ship they have 2 white lights, one underneath the bridge and one literally on the belly, and that signifies the underside of the ship. So on the top side you've got 3, and then on the other side you've got 2. And for the Klingon Empire, that's good enough. There's no sort of left and right on, you know, either left or right side. You know, lights to indicate that this is the left side or the right side. They just have lights on the top and on the bottom to indicate the top and the bottom. I suppose their way of thinking is, as the ship is flying through space, you don't really care about the left or the right, do you? You really want to know what's the top and the bottom, you know, so you know what direction it's going in. But anyway, if there's any ex-sailors out there watching, I'm sure they can tell me, explain it better than I have. But I just thought that was just a really interesting detail that I've never seen that before. 3 on the top and 2 on the bottom, and so I'll be replicating that. While we're with the wings, actually no, I'll finish off with the body. One of the other details that I've done, and you've probably noticed it, is this big chunky thing here. Well, that's the engine, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a red light there and a red light there, and they'll be shining that way and shining that way, and they'll both be red. So that's really just like a baffle or a blank, and I've already done a lot of work on it to basically cut off as much red light as I possibly can. When I put the other lights in here, they will be getting treatment, so they don't pick up any light from anything else, so it won't be a problem. But that baffle there will catch, I reckon, about 90% of the light, you know. So I'll just bring that so you can see it, there, and all it is, it's just a chunk of scrap plastic that I had and I've just basically, cemented it in there. And then the two lights, there'll be one that side, there'll be one that side, and then there'll be one on that side, and that'll be good enough. Moving on. Yeah, while we're talking about the wings, we might as well talk about the guns, because the guns are just shocking. As you can see there, those are the standard ones, and if the camera can pick it up, the gun just looks like just a lump of plastic really, and the actual barrel bit, the muzzle, is too small for the camera to pick up. But if I put it back like that, there we go. Or if I put it back like that, it's picked it up now. It's just too small, and it's just all wrong. And you have this big chunky thing down here that I do know what it's for. It's to basically give the gun support, but it serves no other purpose, and it's just an eyesore. These things here, these are supposed to be, like phasers. This is the main gun, and then these two are like phaser sort of things, and they just look like blobs of plastic. I think where the kit is so old and the tooling is just, not up to it anymore. So these didn't mold very well, and neither did this. So I thought about it long and hard, and I thought, do you know what? Yeah, I'm not just going to replace these. It's going to be a lot of work to replace these, but I'm also going to light them. So that's what I did, and here they are. And there they are. I think those look much better, So if I just take this one and just compare it to the original one, and you can see the difference straight away. I mean, this just looks like, a pair of guns, and that just looks like blobs of plastic. And if you're wondering what the things are sticking out of this one, they're actually the fibre optics, because like I've already said, I will be lighting it, and there will be, and the light, I got the light here, and the light will be sitting in there like that, and then it'll be lighting these two and that one down there as well. So I just think that looks a lot better. It was a lot of work, but it's definitely worth it, because they just look like guns now. And on the main gun, it just looks a lot better as well. It's better detailed. It's more into scale. There's obviously, I had to do a lot of modifications here to get it to fit, but I don't have that chunky thing on there anymore that one does, and it's more in scale. It actually looks like a gun now. You can see right down it, and like I already said, I'm going to light this, so I'll be running fibre optic down here. And there we go, and I'll probably leave it like that, or a bit like that. Spray the whole lot. Glue the fibre optic in, because I've got some really nice glues that will stick the fibre optic in place, but they won't melt it, because there are glues out there that actually melt and warp fibre optics, but I managed to find some that won't, and I've been using them a lot. So I'll probably glue it like that, so there's a little bit sticking out on the end. Come on, camera. So there's a little bit sticking out on the end, and then when I'm finished working on this and spraying, I'll then cut that bit off. Where is it? I'll then cut that bit off, and then there'll just be a green light coming out of here, and that will look really nice, So that's the guns, and I'm really happy with that, how that is. I just have to do the other ones now, which is why I stopped myself, because I wanted to do the other one, but I thought, well, no, I want to do a video and show you guys exactly what I've been up to, and just let you guys know that it is possible. It's a lot of work, but it is possible. Okay, put that to one side. The other thing is, as well, you'll probably notice on the bottom of my bird of prey here, I got these two gaping holes in here. The reason for that is because the photon torpedo launcher that you get, it goes in there and it just sort of like sits there like that, and it didn't look like anything. It just looked like anything else but part of the ship or a weapon. and the two ends of it didn't even go inside the ship, because obviously the photon launcher is there, but all the weapons are stored in the belly of the ship. So when the weapon is made live here, the photon torpedoes are actually pushed up through the tube, then stuck into the weapon, and then it's fired, and then another one is pushed up, and they can get about 3 photon torpedoes down here, all being ready to fire, and it just didn't look right. So I got rid of that, and I made my own, and that looks much better. I think that looks much nicer. Come on, camera. There we go. So now I got my camera focused, I can show you now what I've done. So as you can see here, they both look very different, and my one just goes on here like that, just slots in there, and then it just clips on, and that's it. And that looks much better. I like that a lot, actually. It looks much more like a photon launcher, torpedo tube launcher, and it actually marries into the ship now. There's no gaps here at all, and it looks like what it's supposed to look like. Much better than, well, this bit of stick, really. It was just, I absolutely hated it, I really did. And of course, this just pops off. He says, there we go, it just pops off for spraying, and then clips back on again when I want to glue it down permanently. So I'm really happy with that. The last little bit I got is obviously, this is all the cabling and all the electrics that I need to wire up in it. This is the stand, heavily modified, obviously. That's where the power is going to go in, and that's where the bird of prey is going to sit on, and the power will go from there straight up there and come out there like that. And I've already made a hole in the base, so it fits on there like that. And I'm really happy with that. Just needs a bit more jiggling around, and when I'm ready to put it on there, I'll position it and shape it. I always have mine sort of facing downward a little bit like that, you know, so then you can see the detail more, so it's not a problem. That's really about it, guys. That's the cloaking device that goes on the front of the ship like that. But that's pretty much it. There's not much else to really say. Other than thank you for staying with me and enjoying this video with me. I will make updates for this, but they'll probably be a couple of weeks apart, because this is, although it's a small ship, yeah, it's really quite a big build, and when you put in light chair, it just complicates it even more. Oh yeah, last bit, to light up the weapons, I have got some nice thin cable that actually runs down here and then comes out on the gun tips, so that's not a problem. And on the studio model, they have the same problem that I did, is that with this one and the other one, there's not enough room for the cabling, so they actually put the cabling on the outside and then just blended it in with the detail. I thought that was really clever, so I'm going to do that as well. But anyway, I transgress, as they say. Thank you for sticking with me, and thank you for watching this. I always appreciate your comments and your subscriptions, and I hope you got as much joy and pleasure out of this as much as I have. And I'll upload another bit in probably in about 3 or 4 weeks, because I got an awful lot to do on this with the lights. So in the meantime, you take care and have an awesome weekend. Bye now.